other than John Matrix. When I first heard about him, I thought Arnold Schwarzenegger would come down from the Commando. John is executive day game coach with daygame.com. Been doing it for a few years, and he runs the boot camps quite regularly there. He was one of us, a guy who just didn't know how to approach, get good with women, and now he's one of the leading dating coaches in London. So he's come down here to give up his time on a very busy day, Saturday, when they have their boot camps. So let's really show him our appreciation. Let's give it up for...
Okay, let's get going. All right. So firstly, I'll just briefly explain what I'm going to talk about today before we get into it. First thing I want to touch on is anxiety and how to ground yourself. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the mindset that you need to have for being attractive when you're doing day game. And then I'm just going to go over a few concepts. So, first things first, anxiety, right? I don't know about you guys, but if I feel anxiety about something, it starts in my head. It starts as like racing thoughts about something, and then I start to feel it here in my chest, right? Now, what anxiety is, it's nervous energy. It's trapped nervous energy. So, I'm sure you've all felt it when you're out on the streets and you see that hot girl that you want to approach, and then suddenly you start thinking about it, and then you start feeling a bit nervous, and then it can be a paralyzing fear that you get. So, anxiety comes from not having a strong root. For those of you that do meditation and you're into like chakra stuff and energy, you all know about the root chakra. What we want to do is we want to move that energy out of your head into your pelvis, your legs and your feet. So when you're walking around and you're feeling anxiety, take your attention out of here and put it down here. It sounds a bit weird and a bit like airy-fairy, but trust me, it works. So the way to focus energy, to move energy, is just put your attention where you want it to be. So as you're walking around, put your attention on your feet and on your legs and on your pelvis, yeah? Breathe into it, breathe into here, yeah? Not into here and not into here. And the same thing when you're talking to women, talk from here, not from here, right? When you talk from here, you're going to be in your head, you're going to be not listening to what she's saying, you're just going to be, in a fluster. But if you just take that energy, that attention, and then just put it down here, it makes a huge difference. And this is something that I'm getting more and more into now, like learning about energy and chakras and stuff. And if that's not something that you're interested in, I'd recommend it. Meditation, focusing energy, opening chakras, all that stuff is great. Okay, so let's move on to the mindsets that you need to have to be good at day game. First one, I don't care what she thinks. Yeah, it's really important. You've got to look at it like as much as you can come from like a needy place of wanting her to like you. You've got to just drop that, and you've got to come from a place of like I don't care what she thinks. I don't care if she likes me or not. That's what women find so attractive. Yeah, it's literally like you're so in your own reality. You're so in your own bubble that she cannot get in there. She cannot shake you, no matter what she does, no matter what shit she throws at you. Yeah, you're solid. Yeah, you're like a rock. She can't get in there. So if you can go out with that mindset of, instead of going out thinking like, oh, I really want these girls to like me, I really want, I want to get numbers, change that mindset to like, I'm in my reality. I don't care what happens. I don't care what she thinks. I'm a man. I'm masculine. I'm in my reality. She can't get in there. Okay, so yeah, don't try to attract her. Let it happen naturally. This one's really important. Yeah, the moment a girl thinks that you're trying to attract her, it's over. So when you see all these videos on YouTube, all this high energy, high attraction stuff, yeah, looks great on YouTube, it looks great to other guys, but it's not effective. I can tell you that for sure. It's not effective. The attraction needs to come from a strong place inside, not a place of I'm trying to impress her, I'm trying to make her like me. You know, I can't stress that enough. That's one of the most important things, is that attraction needs to be subtle, and you know, it needs to come from a place of strength and not a place of weakness. Of you know, I want her to like me, therefore I'm going to perform in front of her. You know, you've got to. It's hard because at the beginning, when you haven't got that core strength to do this stuff, you kind of do have to perform. You do have to kind of be somebody you're not. But if you can just keep that in mind, that really it's about your own amusement. Like, you want to get laid, yeah, but your own amusement is your top priority, yeah? It's not about her, it's about you. So, like, when I'm teasing girls, I'm doing it for my own benefit. I'm making jokes with her that I would make when I talk with my friends. I'm not making jokes or teasing her because I want her to like me, because I'm trying to impress her. I'm doing it because that's naturally the way that I am. And that's what you need to do. When you talk to a woman that you've just met on the street, you've got to talk to her like she's your best mate. And when you can do that, immediately they feel really, really comfortable, you know? You can see it, like when we, you know, when we watch videos of students, or if I watch videos of myself or of Tom, you can see when a guy goes up and he's a bit jittery and nervous, and immediately it makes her jittery and nervous. And you get guys that go up and they're just relaxed, and then she immediately becomes relaxed, you know? Because your vibe kind of controls her vibe. The masculine vibe is stronger than the feminine, so, you know, it's really important. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about some concepts, like the fundamentals. The first one is listening. This is huge, huge. You've got to listen to what she's saying. And this goes back to the thing about being in your head. Yeah, when your energy's all up here and you're all in your head, you don't listen to what she's saying. You really don't. And I know, because I've been through it. Like, you're constantly scanning your mind for the next thing that you're going to say. Yeah, because you're so worried about running out of things to say that you don't even listen to what she's saying. Yeah? If you just put your focus on listening to what she's saying, you will never run out of things to say, because whatever she says, you'll always be able to make a statement about it. You'll always be able to make a comment about it, you know? And actually, that's how we have normal conversations with everyone. Is, you know, I make a statement, the other person listens, he thinks for a second, he digests what I've said, he'll make a statement, he might ask me a question, I'll think, I'll make a statement, yeah? And it's like a knack, it's a habit you need to get into, of listening to what somebody says, yeah, and then talking about the thing that they've just said. And that's what we do day in, day out with everybody that we meet, except when we go up to somebody we're a bit nervous about talking to and who we're trying to maybe impress, like a hot girl. And then it goes downhill, and what we end up doing is we start asking loads of questions, and we keep jumping topics as well, and that blocks a conversation. Yeah? So going up to a girl and saying, what's your name, where are you from, what do you do? And each time she replies, you're just not even listening, you're just asking another question, and you're getting these one-word answers. And then you wonder why she'd be like, why are you asking all these questions? Like, who are you? You know? But if you can get comfortable with listening to what she's saying and then talking about the thing that she said, immediately she'll be more comfortable. You know, it's just a habit, it's a knack. It's a knack you've got to get into. And don't be too worried if what you're saying isn't great, like coming up with these golden lines, you know. It's not about that, it's about talking off the top of your head. If you came out with loads of like really great, perfect lines, it would be weird, it would sound contrived. So, you know, literally just talk off the top of your head. Get your energy out of your head, get your energy into your attention down here, yeah? And then have faith in yourself that you're going to be able to just react and just talk, because you can all do it. Every single one of you can do it. You all talk with friends, you all, you know, talk with people you know. So everybody can do it. You just need to learn or practice how to do it when you're in front of somebody that you don't know and somebody maybe you're a bit nervous around. Yeah, so that's listening. That's really, really important. Next thing, don't approval seek. Do you all know what approval seeking is? Yeah, everybody know? This is probably the most, as well as not listening, this is probably the most common mistake I see week in, week out when I teach guys, is they're too nice and they're constantly trying to seek the girl's approval, yeah? Like, approval seeking manifests itself in many ways. Examples, voice tone. Voice tone going up at the end of sentences, yeah? That's a really, really big one. You want to, when you talk to a woman, you should talk to her the way I'm talking to you now, yeah? So when I'm talking to you now, my voice isn't going up, it's level. My voice is going to be level or it's going to go down, yeah? And it sounds trivial, but it's huge, the difference it makes. You could go up to a woman, say exactly the same thing with an approval-seeking voice tone, and it's just going to completely turn her off, like 100% turn her off, yeah? And you can say the same things with a level voice tone, and she's going to look at you in a completely different way. And it's not difficult to do, you know? You just got to catch yourself doing it and change it, yeah? So you really got to focus on speaking with a level voice tone. There's a really good video actually on YouTube about this. It's a guy called Tim from RSD. If you put into YouTube RSD Tim voice tonality, really, really good about how humans use voice tone, whether we're trying to make rapport or whether we're trying to break rapport. So definitely all of you, you should check that out. Another way that approval seeking manifests is with smiling too much. It's not normal, it's not natural to be like that, yeah? So you approach the girl, you smile, which is fine, but then once you're into a conversation with her, stop smiling. When she's talking to you, have a straight face, you know? Even have a slightly skeptical look on your face, you know? It really works, trust me. It makes girls want to qualify themselves more. If she's telling you about herself and you're just standing there like this, like, okay, rather than, oh wow, yeah, that's great, yeah, interesting, you know? So also drop words like, oh wow, oh cool, interesting, I really like that. Drop it. When she's talking to you, just nod your head and just be like, okay, right, okay, yeah. Like you don't really care, yeah? That's the opposite of approval seeking, and that's what women react to, that's what you want to be. That's what women do not find ass-kissing, approval-seeking men attractive, you know? It's really, really, a bit loud, isn't it? Yeah, it's just it's a complete turn-off to women. And I've noticed it as well, like, I have certain friends that actually approval seek with me. And I don't know if you guys, now I've talked to you about it, you might notice, if somebody does it with you, it's really, really annoying when somebody's talking to you and you get the feeling that they're trying to be overly nice to you because they want you to like them. So their voice keeps going up. It really grates on you, and I can see it now from like the point of view of a girl, how annoying that would be. Yeah? So really, like, just drop all approval seeking if you can. It's a really, really bad habit. Everybody's got it. I had it. Every student, I think, well, 90% of the students we get have it, but it can be eliminated really easily. Yeah? So that's definitely something that's really important that you need to look out for. Talking with conviction. This is another one. I see a lot of guys that when they're talking to women, and this goes back to the voice tone thing as well, they don't talk with conviction. They talk in a wishy-washy kind of way. When they're making their statements, it's like they're not sure about what they're saying. So I'll give you an example. Say, okay, you approach a girl, I don't know, she looks Swedish. So if the approach goes something like this, this is talking without conviction. Excuse me, can I just tell you something? I just saw you, and I think you look really nice. I think you look maybe Swedish. That's talking without conviction. Talking with conviction would be, excuse me, can I just tell you something? I just saw you, and I think you look really nice. What I noticed about you was you look very, very Swedish. Can you hear the difference? It's like night and day, yeah? You've got to just talk with a powerful masculine voice tone and keep your voice level, yeah? It's just bad habits, really, really bad habits you need to break. You can talk about anything, right? You can talk absolute waffle and bullshit to a woman. But if you're looking at her in the eyes, right, and you're talking with conviction, she will be captivated. Trust me. I don't know if any of you guys have seen some of my videos, but there's plenty of parts in my videos where what I'm saying is not good. It's like I'm stating the obvious about something, you know, or I'm just waffling off the top of my head. But it's not the words that are important. It's really not. It's the other things. It's your voice tone. It's the way that you're looking at her. It's the expression on your face. Yeah, all those things women pick up on. It's like the sub-communication stuff, you know. So the words are really just a vehicle for your personality. The words are not important. Too many guys get hung up on like, what do I say? What do I say? You know, what happens if I run out of things to say? And sure, when you're a beginner, you do need some kind of structure on what to say, and that's why we teach the model that we do at daygame.com. But as you improve, you'll start to see that the words really, really don't matter. What's important is the way that you say something. Yeah, it's the way that it's the voice tone, the eye contact, the smile, all that stuff is much, much more important than the words. Yeah, so get comfortable talking. Get comfortable talking about stuff. It doesn't have to be good. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be good. You can state the obvious. You know, if she tells you where she's from, you can, even if you know nothing about it, you can say, I know. You know what? I've never been there. I don't know anything about it, but I think it might be like this, and then just start talking. She tells you what she does for a living. Yeah, she works in, I don't know, advertising, whatever. You can just say, I don't know anything about that, but I imagine that. And then just start talking, start telling her what you think it's like, yeah? And she'll be captivated, yeah? Women really do respond to this stuff. So I can't like stress this strong enough. It's not about the words, it's about the way that you say it, yeah? And as you start to improve, you'll start to experience this. And you'll just have the confidence that you can go up to a woman and have faith in yourself, that you know you can just talk off the top of your head, right? But talk with conviction and she will be completely captivated. Okay, body language and eye contact. Be relaxed. As nervous as you feel inside, try and be relaxed. Now, this is not relaxed. This is like getting ready to fight or run away, yeah? Try and lean back if you can. This is kind of the stance that I would take, is I'd have my weight on one foot, and I'd have my other foot kind of pointed away like this, and I might even have my body angled slightly, yeah? And can you feel the difference between this and this, you know? Find somewhere comfortable to put your hands. You don't want to fidget a lot, yeah? In your pockets like this, clasped in front of you like this. Maybe just, you can fold your arms at times, yeah? But the key is just to be relaxed. And, you know, like when I'm talking to a girl, I move my body around, I might talk like this, I might move my head, because that's naturally how I talk. That's how I talk with my friends, yeah? I don't talk to my friends in, you know, like this. And another habit I see guys have is they rock backwards and forwards. It's like a nervous thing where they might do this, yeah? Just plant yourself and keep, you know, and keep relatively still. You don't have to be like a statue. You can move around. Don't fidget with your hands. Yeah. Eye contact, really, really important. To a woman, this is probably like top of her list on things that they'll look for in a man. Is really, really strong eye contact. Yeah. I mean, eye contact, we can feel it as men, you know, when someone has strong eye contact. But women their radars for this stuff is like off the charts. Got a question? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I've not heard that before. That's interesting. I'll have to look into that.
If you're scared.
Oh, I see what you mean. What? So that your eyes focus on one thing rather than moving around.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. But yeah, really, really strong eye contact. So from the moment that you approach her, yeah, you've got to literally like laser eyes, pin her there with your eyes. Yeah. Strong voice tone with like really, really powerful eye contact is like magic to a woman, you know? And the more confident you get, what you'll find is you can actually start to get closer to women when you talk to them. I mean, I've noticed that something when I watch my videos now. On a lot of videos, I move right in close to her face because I know that I'm not gonna flinch. You know, you have to be kind of sure of yourself in order to do that. But what you'll find is it's something that will naturally happen. the more confident you get, you'll know that you can go up to a girl, stop her, pin her down with your eye contact, and you can move in as you're talking to her and almost get right in her face, yeah? And like I said, women, they're so sensitive to this stuff. You don't realise, you know, as men, we're not, our radars just aren't as sensitive as women's. Men are all about facts and knowledge, you know. Women are all about emotions and feelings and all that kind of stuff. And that's something that, you know, it took me a while to learn. I used to think that women thought exactly the same, their brains worked in the same way as men. So in other words, it's like if you're good looking, that's all you need, you know. And, you know, I never had success with women before I got into day game, and I couldn't understand it. I couldn't get my head around it. How when I'd go out, I'd have friends of mine that weren't, you know, not typically good-looking guys, but the women would just be all over them, and it was nothing to do with what they looked like. It was the way that they behaved. It was the way that they acted. It was how comfortable they were, you know. One guy in particular, whenever I'd go out with him, he was like the life and soul of the party, you know, and not a good-looking guy at all, but all the girls around him, and I couldn't understand this. And it wasn't until I got into day game and I started learning like about this stuff that you realise that it's nothing to do with what you look like. It's all these other things that I'm talking about, you know, like voice tone, eye contact, masculinity, sense of humour, charm. All these things will captivate a woman much more than your looks. Yeah, if you're a good-looking guy, it doesn't hurt. You might get an extra 20 seconds at the beginning of an interaction. But if you've just got looks but you haven't got anything else, you're not going to get any women. You're really not going to get any women at all. Yeah? So, next thing, let's have a look. Teasing and challenging. This is a big one. I'm not going to go into like specific examples of teasing, because if you can't go up to a girl having planned out a tease, I can't give you a kind of list of teases because it's not going to work. The way to tease properly is to listen to what she's saying and be in the moment, and you'll notice opportunities for teasing will just present themselves. Yeah, just in the same way that when you're with your best mate, you're constantly like ragging on each other, taking the piss. That's how it's got to be with women. Yeah, that's how it's got to be. And the hotter she is, the more you've got to do it. So, the best advice I can give you is don't censor yourself. Don't be worried about offending her, you know. If you've got a cheeky smile on your face, you can get away with saying a lot of stuff, trust me, yeah? Don't be out and out like rude to her, but you can poke fun, you really can, yeah? Just be cheeky with her. Imagine it's your best mate and you're talking, and if your best mate was to like slip up slightly in what he was saying, you'd take the piss out of him, like for sure, 100% you would. That's what you've got to do with women. Don't treat them with kid gloves. Don't put them on a pedestal and pussyfoot around them, because they don't like that, you know. They want guys that are gonna almost like talk down to them, you know. Yeah, be on their level. Be able to banter, just have a bit of fun with them. They don't want guys that are just kissing their arse. Yeah, experiment with it. Go out and don't be nice. Just don't be nice. Don't go up and be nice. I mean, if you guys, you watch my videos, I'm not nice when I go up. I'm nice when I open, and I give them a compliment, and then I smile, and then I turn it off. I completely turn it off. Yeah. Be skeptical of everything she says. Be skeptical. Don't agree with it. Don't think everything she does is brilliant. You can literally do it with every word that comes out of her mouth. You can look at her with a skeptical look on your face and be like, okay, like it's kind of weird what she's saying. Like I'm not buying what you're selling. That's the vibe you want to have, yeah. And you can do it all the way through. As an experiment, try it. The next girl you talk to, don't be impressed with anything she says. Just be completely skeptical, and you'll see you'll get a completely different reaction from the girl. It makes her want to qualify herself more. If she's talking about something, she's telling you about stuff, and you're looking at her with a complete poker face, like you're completely unimpressed, it's gonna make her want to keep going. Yeah, it's gonna make her want to keep talking, keep justifying herself to you. You know, really good trick that I call skeptical parroting is and this also helps with running out of things to say, is if she's just told you some stuff about herself, you can repeat it back to her in a skeptical voice tone, and all you're doing is literally just repeating what she just said to you in a skeptical voice tone, and it will make her want to justify her position. So let me give you an example. Say, I don't know, I met a girl from Latvia. She's come over to London to study, and she wants to be a dancer. So I could say, okay, hang on, let me get this right. So you're from Latvia, you came all the way over to study, and you want to be a dancer. That's going to make her, she's going to go, yeah, but this and this and this and this and this. Yeah, and it makes them want to keep going. It's such a simple trick, and it works so well. Yeah, so be skeptical. Don't be impressed, and be skeptical of everything she says. Judge what she's saying. You know, it's okay to now and then you can reward her if there is something she says that it's kind of cool. Then you can say that, but don't get into the habit of just doing it all the time. Be neutral or be skeptical, and what you'll find is you'll get women trying to impress you. You know. Instead of being the one where you're going up to her trying to impress her, trying to approval seek with her and make her like you, she'll be the one approval seeking to you. And that's kind of how it should be. That's the right way, is the man should be like rock solid, yeah, in his demeanour, and the woman should be the one that's all flustered and trying to like impress the man, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Outcome indifference. Yeah? Don't care what happens. It's another really, really important thing. Don't care what happens. Go out and don't give a fuck whether you get numbers or you don't. Sounds kind of difficult because obviously we're all in this for one reason, but you've really got to start to enjoy the process of going out and day gaming. Yeah? Being in the moment and having fun in the moment is more important than going out and getting 30 numbers that flake. Yeah? If you can go out with that mindset of like, I really, really don't care what happens. I really don't care whether I go on instant dates, whether I get numbers, whatever happens. It's like I'm going to go out and I'm really, really going to enjoy myself. What you'll find is you'll get the numbers and you'll get the instant dates. It will be natural. It will feel natural in a conversation where you haven't gone in with an agenda of like, I've got to get this girl's number, I have to get this girl's number, because that comes across. That's going to like permeate through to the woman. Yeah, you need to just get that stuff out of your head, completely get it out of your head, and focus on enjoying what you're doing. And if you're out day gaming and you're having a really great day, and you're just loving what you're doing, the whole thing will just flow. It will just be effortless. Yeah, it will just completely flow. And you'll get into a conversation with a girl, you'll be chatting away, you won't have anything on your mind, you won't be thinking about anything, you'll be in the moment, you'll be talking, and then at the end of the conversation, it will feel totally natural to say, do you know what, I'd love to invite you out sometime. Yeah? Because it is natural, because you've had such a great chat. But when you go in with this agenda, then it's always in the back of your mind, it's like, when am I going to go for the number? Am I going to get a number? Does she like me? Drop it all. And if, it sounds easy, it's not. It does take time, but if you can just try and have that mindset of just like happy-go-lucky, don't care what happens, unreactive, I think you'll find your results improving a lot. It's just started to rain, so I'm gonna move forward a bit. Right, yeah. So to sum up what I've said so far, I think the key points are don't try to attract her. Yeah, all these little concepts I've talked about, like things like approval seeking, all that stuff. That's all going to come from you really trying, you really wanting to like attract this woman, you wanting her to like you. So go up to her and just be yourself. Don't try to impress her, because women do not respond to that well. If she thinks you're trying to impress her, the moment she gets a sniff that you're trying to impress her, or you want her approval, that's it. The attraction is dead. And like I was saying before, how the way that women think, attraction for women will change constantly as she's talking to you. She'll feel more attraction for you, she'll feel less attraction for you. As men, when we look at women, we're attracted to women, but mostly because of the way they look. So if a girl's really, really hot, your attraction for her is just high. And unless she's a really awful person, and even then, maybe not, but it's just going to, depends how hot she is, your attraction for her is going to be up here, and it's going to stay like that purely because of the way she looks. Women don't think like that at all. A woman's attraction for you is going to fluctuate. Yeah? It's going to fluctuate based on many, many things, like the things that I've talked about. So when you get good at this stuff, you can learn how to keep the attraction high. You know, how to spark attraction, how to like spike conversations. You know, with comments, how to tease. All these things are going to keep this attraction like amplified. Yeah. So I think I've pretty much covered it. The last thing I'll say is, if you want, guys, if you want to see this stuff in action, then check out daygame.com. Check out Effortless, which is my product, which is 12 infield videos with 3 blowouts on there as well, so you can see me getting rejected as well. And periodically, we're going to add videos to it. If you're just getting started in Daygame and you want to kind of hit the ground running with like a really concise information product, check out Date Against the Machine. You can watch the whole thing in like 2 hours, and it's got everything you need in there to kind of hit the ground running. If you want a more in-depth product, check out the blueprint. And if you really want to get good at this stuff, then either come on one of our daygame.com boot camps, or you can come and do a one-on-one with me. You can drop me an email at john@daygame.com. So yeah, any questions about? Yes.
If you open someone and like they're at a certain energy and you're at a different energy, should you try to mirror them, or should you just stay where you are?
Well,
if she's like really high energy and you're chill, should you try to up your energy, or should you just stay chill?
I'd say stay chilled, because what will happen is she'll become chilled. Remember what I said, the man controls the vibe.
Okay.
So, I mean, I have a very low energy style, probably the lowest out of anybody who day games in London. I'm not going to change my, I'm not going to up my energy for her. The only time I will up my energy is with 2 sets or multiple girls, because that's a different animal. Then you've got to go in with a slightly higher energy, and you've got to tease and challenge a lot more. But for a single girl, I don't change the way you are for her. I mean, me personally, I think the best way to be is to be relaxed and chilled all the time. I'm sure some of you guys, naturally, you're more higher energy than that. But as long as it's not coming from a place of trying to impress her, then just be who you are, Yeah. Definitely slow it down. Definitely slow it down, yeah. Talking really fast, because I talk quickly as well. And it's something that I've kind of worked on. Talking really fast makes you sound nervous, and it makes you sound unsure about what you're saying. And it will also make you run out of things to say, because you'll just be in such a rush to fill the silence and to get the words out. So it's definitely something to work on, and whether that's something you can work on your own, or whether maybe you can get a voice coach or something like that, if that's what you want to do. But really slow, powerful speech with a masculine voice is great for attracting women. Yeah.
You talk about when you go for the number and she says, "Sorry, I've got a boyfriend," or "I'm seeing someone."
Yeah.
Do you actually try and still get the number? Or?
Me personally, if it's at the beginning of the interaction and she tells me she's got a boyfriend, I would just gloss over it, because she could just be saying that to put up a bit of resistance, and then I wouldn't draw attention to it. So if she says, I approach her and I tell her she looks nice, and she says, "I've got a boyfriend," I'm not going to start like questioning her about it, or I'm just going to go, "Okay, anyway, what I noticed about you was blah 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 blah." I'm just going to gloss over it. If at the end of an interaction, after I've done my whole thing and I've chatted to her for like 8 minutes, whatever, 8 to 10 minutes, and then when I go to close, she's like, "I've got a boyfriend," or whatever, then me personally, I let them go. You know, there's some guys that will still go for it anyway. I don't like to do that. If she's told me she's got a boyfriend at the end of an interaction, either she has or she doesn't like me, which is fine. You know, there's plenty more. So, yes. That's all right.
How would you stop someone who's going really, really fast?
How would you stop someone that's going really, really fast?
Because it doesn't seem to work.
Okay. Well, for the first thing is you need to give them more distance. The faster she's going, the more space you need to leave. For a girl walking at a normal pace, we normally say when you jog past her, as you reach the point where your feet cross hers, like across that line, in your head count to 4. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3. Because a girl never just stops dead. She's going to take a couple more steps. Yeah? And also the things that are going to make her stop is your voice and your eye contact. Yeah? Think about it like how a policeman would stop somebody. Now he's not going to stop somebody like a charity worker. He's not going to come in from the side and be like, "Hi, excuse me, can I just stop you for a minute?" He's going to be like, "Hey, I have to tell you something." Yeah? So really like just, you've just got to give it to her like pow. Get right in her space, in front of her, be directly in front of her, strong eye contact, loud voice, yeah, even maybe too loud than what you think is appropriate. If you've got a quiet voice, then experiment with talking, not shouting, but talking as loud as you can, yeah? Eye contact, voice, directly in front of her, she'll stop, and enough distance and she'll stop, yeah. Another one, yeah?
Trail, you see that you trail behind them and go around if you see them walking past,
Yeah.
you turn around and then do the...
Yeah, if a girl's walking towards me, I'd always let them go past and then run back. What I've found is if a girl's walking towards you, or say you're standing on the street, maybe with a wing, and there's a girl, if you just suddenly step out in front of her, it never works as well. And I think maybe because that's kind of what like salesmen and charity worker people do. They stand around and then they move towards you like that. But if you let the girl go past you, yeah, and then you run back round, it's much more effective. And I've had girls say to me they love the way that I walk past them, and then I thought about it, and then I plucked up the courage to do it. I've had, I think, 3 or 4 girls say that they love the way that I stopped them, yeah, because it was so. For them, it's like a movie, it's like the romantic moment from the movie where the guy sees the girl and then he runs over, yeah? Any more questions? Yes?
How best would it be to improve your conversation with a woman, would you say?
Improve your conversation with a woman?
Yeah.
I'd say listening.
Just
Listening. Listening to what she's saying. And not being scared to speak your mind. Yeah? And yeah, just if you listen, there'll always be topics, there'll always be things to talk about. Listening, good eye contact,
What happens if she's just saying like one word, really, really little, like yes or no, and you're trying to very little, she's giving very little back. I try to assume, but then it's just like you're still getting one word.
They're the most difficult sets. What you have to do is you have to plough. So in other words, you've got to keep talking. And this is the thing I was saying about bullshitting with conviction.
Yeah,
just keep chatting shit. And it sounds difficult, and it is to begin with, but you will get the hang of it. Where you'll be talking to a girl, and she's being deliberately like obtuse and she's not giving you anything to work with. Yeah. Every tiny bit of information she gives you, even if they're one-word answers, you've got to make an essay out of that answer. Yeah, just waffle. Because remember, like I said, it's not the words; it's the way that you say it.
Yeah.
So get comfortable just talking and talking and talking. And if you keep talking and you're talking with conviction and you're looking at her in the eye, she won't walk away.
Should you challenge her on how maybe she's not saying much, or should you?
The way I would do it, I would turn it into a joke, and I would say, I'd smile and I'd say, I love how you're just like giving me nothing.
Yeah.
You're just making this so difficult for me.
Yeah. Just make
because it breaks the tension. Actually, that's a good thing that I use a lot is when something comes up, like for example that, or maybe she's being texting on the phone while she's talking to me, or she looks at me really suspiciously when I open, then what I'll do is I'll cut myself off from what I'm saying and I'll say, I love how you're looking at me. so suspiciously, like, who the fuck is this guy? And immediately she laughs, and it breaks that tension, you know. Tom calls it the elephant in the room. If you can call out the elephant in the room, it breaks the tension, you know. It breaks the ice, if you like. So if a girl's giving me nothing and I'm struggling, then I'm gonna look at her and smile and say, I love the way that you're just giving me absolutely nothing. You're making this so difficult for me. Yeah?
Just being completely honest with
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah. And just keep listening, because every time she talks, she's giving you nuggets of information to latch onto, topics of conversation, tangents to go off on. Yeah. There's every sentence that comes out of somebody's mouth generally will have about 2 or 3 different nouns in there that you can then 3-4 topics you can go off on. Yeah. And that's how we speak all the time when we're chatting with friends. You know, we multi-thread. I think as Mystery calls it, you know, where you'll be chatting about something and then you'll veer off about another topic and then you'll backtrack and you'll go off about another topic and you'll backtrack. Yeah, that's how you need to talk. That's how you need to talk to women. You're forcing the conversation that you have with your friends and with people you know onto somebody you've just met. And when you do that effectively, it makes them very, very comfortable immediately.
Great, John, that's a great point to stop at.
Yeah,
Rain
okay.
is holding off, and I think the guys want to go and keep going.
All right, let's do it.
John, thanks very much for your time.
Welcome.